The United States has had some of the most influential leaders in world history, but who are the greatest US presidents? In this video, we'll count down the top 10 presidents of the United States, leaders who shaped the nation's destiny, faced extraordinary challenges, and left legacies that continue to impact the world today. From wars to social revolutions, these figures defined eras and transformed the US as we know it. Let's dive in. Number 10. Lyndon B. Johnson, 1963 to 1969, the 36th president, is regarded as one of the most transformative leaders in American history. Johnson's Great Society programs aimed at eliminating poverty and racial injustice, establishing landmark legislation such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. His leadership during the escalation of the Vietnam War was controversial, but his domestic policies fundamentally changed American society. His war on poverty created programs that continue to assist low-income families to this day. Number 9. Ronald Reagan, 1981 to 1989. The 40th president brought a new conservative vision to American politics, focusing on reducing government intervention and strengthening the nation's military. His presidency marked a period of economic growth, often referred to as the Reagan Revolution, as tax cuts and deregulation spurred the economy. Reagan's foreign policy, especially his hard stance against the Soviet Union, played a key role in the end of the Cold War. The Strategic Defense Initiative, his approach to the arms race, and his famous challenge to tear down this wall were emblematic of his leadership during a tense period of international relations. Number 8. John F. Kennedy, 1961 to 1963, the 35th president, and one of the most beloved figures in U.S. history. His inspiring speeches, including the famous "Ask not what your country can do for you," captured the spirit of the early 1960s and galvanized a generation. His presidency was marked by the Cuban Missile Crisis, a standoff that brought the world to the brink of nuclear war, and his handling of the crisis earned him praise for his diplomacy. Tragically, his life and presidency were cut short by assassination in 1963. Number 7. Thomas Jefferson, 1801 to 1809. The third president is best known for his pivotal role in drafting the Declaration of Independence and for expanding the U.S. during the Louisiana Purchase. Jefferson was a visionary who believed deeply in democratic ideals and individual freedoms, and his presidency reflected these values. His leadership saw the expansion of the United States as the Louisiana Purchase doubled the size of the nation. He also sponsored the Lewis and Clark expedition, which mapped much of the West. Number 6. Harry S. Truman, 1945 to 1953, the 33rd president, assumed office at one of the most pivotal moments in world history, at the conclusion of World War II. Truman's decision to use atomic bombs on Japan ended the war and marked the dawn of the nuclear age. He was also responsible for the Marshall Plan, which helped rebuild Europe after the devastation of the war, and the Truman Doctrine, which aimed to contain communism during the early stages of the Cold War. Truman's leadership during the Korean War showed his commitment to stopping the spread of communism. Number 5. Dwight D. Eisenhower, 1953 to 1961, the 34th president, is perhaps best remembered for his leadership during the Cold War and his military career. As Supreme Commander of Allied forces in Europe during World War II, he played a crucial role in the defeat of Nazi Germany. His presidency marked a time of relative peace and prosperity, but Eisenhower also faced growing tensions with the Soviet Union. Domestically, his administration created the interstate highway system, laying the foundation for modern American infrastructure. Number 4. Theodore Roosevelt, 1901 to 1909. The 26th president is known for his robust personality, and progressive policies that reshaped the nation. Roosevelt was a trustbuster, using his power to break up monopolies and expand federal authority over business practices. His bold foreign policy approach, encapsulated in the phrase "speak softly and carry a big stick," emphasized American power on the world stage, especially in Latin America. Roosevelt's leadership during the Panama Canal project cemented his place in history as a transformative president. Number 3. Franklin D. Roosevelt, 1933 to 1945. The 32nd president served an unprecedented 4 terms and guided the nation through 2 of its most challenging crises, the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's New Deal aimed to provide relief, recovery, and reform to a struggling nation, with policies that reshaped American society and government. His leadership during World War II was marked by his strategic alliances and his ability to inspire the American people through the fireside chats. Roosevelt's foreign policy and leadership during the war not only secured victory, but also established the U.S. as a global superpower. Number 2. George Washington, 1789 to 1797, the first president, laid the groundwork for the fledgling nation and set the standard for all future presidents. As a general during the Revolutionary War, Washington led the Continental Army to victory, and his leadership during the war earned him the trust and admiration of the American people. His presidency established many of the precedents of the federal government, including the 2-term tradition. Washington's decision to step down voluntarily after 2 terms set a vital precedent for the peaceful transfer of power. Number 1. Abraham Lincoln, 1861 to 1865, the 16th president, is often regarded as America's greatest president due to his leadership during the Civil War and his fight to preserve the Union. His Emancipation Proclamation, which abolished slavery in Confederate states, changed the course of American history. His ability to balance political power while keeping the Union intact during the Civil War was nothing short of remarkable. His Gettysburg Address, which called for a new birth of freedom, has become one of the most quoted speeches in American history. Tragically, Lincoln's life was cut short by an assassin's bullet. There you have it, our list of the top 10 U.S. presidents. Each of these leaders faced unique challenges and left behind legacies that shaped the course of history. Who do you think deserves to be at the top? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.